So we will be starting prep on. We rolling?
Yes.
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to run you through a rest day, full day of eating before we actually dive into a mini cut in like a week's time. So just preparing meal one here. This is going to be 50 grams of whey protein, which I'm actually having as a shake because it doesn't really like go or mix with the meal, right? We're also having 150 grams of sourdough bread with 20 grams of almond butter and 20 grams of jam, right? So I think the last full day of eating I would have done was like a defeed full day of eating, and since then we have upped calories again, but we've kept like the food choices that we had during that time, right? Because obviously it was a little bit easier for me to digest and consume, and it's kept my appetite nice and high for this holding phase before we dive into the mini cut. So I actually put up a question box on Instagram yesterday, and somebody asked me a question about how am I able to have so much like sugar in my diet. Is that not bad for bodybuilding, right? So I thought I'd just cover it on here as I'm making this meal. So I think I actually specifically mentioned in that last video that the sugars in the diet in the off-season phase, they're only for when your food is pushing really high and when you are struggling with appetite. You know what I mean? So it's not really something that I would implement like immediately, straight away. You know, your food is low, it's relatively easy for you to kind of get meals in, and then you're just slamming a load of honey, slamming a load of jam, you know, slamming a load of cereal, etc., right? Now, cereal being the one exception, as I do kind of have that year round for the most part. But to be honest, guys, in Rice Krispies, per 100 grams, I'm sure there's like 4 grams of sugar. You know, it's very, very minimal. And I asked about fructose as well, like how are you able to have so much fructose? The fructose you're getting from fruit, guys, is very, very low, okay? So overall, right, when you break down how many carbs I'm actually eating, I'm eating like 670 grams of carbs. Of those carbs, there's a very, very small percentage of that is actually fructose, right? Or is actually sugar. So that's something that you kind of have to take into consideration. Now, again, when I do diet, the first things that are going to go from my diet are the honeys and the jams and those kind of like more sugary foods, right? But again, when you are adding some simple sugars to your diet, when you can't kind of eat any more fucking rice in a gain phase, it is a useful tool for you to use. So it's actually helpful for your bodybuilding rather than being unhealthy. You know, honey is full of like antioxidants as well, so it does have other health benefits. It's not like I'm just adding sugar to my fucking porridge, you know what I mean? Right, so bread is done. Top tip for the bread, guys, all right? See this spray, Fry Light butter spray. Again, processed shit, not the best for you, right? But little fucking spray of this, 1 or 2 sprays on that toast before you put it in the air fryer. Makes it taste fucking lovely. Not that I can taste it too much because I put almond butter and jam on this, but anyway. So back to the discussion on the sugars in the diet, right? Like I was saying, you know, it's only in certain circumstances you'd add those sugars to your diet in your off-season setting. You're struggling to get food in, because I got to the point, right, when I had to implement those foods that the food I was eating, so the big huge rice portions, the big huge cream of rice portions, I was actually seeing worse negative effects off of those in terms of like just being really sick, my digestion being off, that driving up inflammation, that then in turn affecting my training performance. So I was seeing a lot of negative side effects from my diet there. Whereas when I just implemented some more simple sugars to allow me to get the food in easier, to allow me to digest the food easier, things progress quite a lot, okay? So I can understand how from the outside looking in, people would look at certain things and go, oh, the sugars, like, is that not unhealthy? Is that not what you're not supposed to do, like when you're bodybuilding and stuff like that? And yes, you know, you want to keep your diet as clean with as many single food ingredients as you possibly can. But when you've actually done bodybuilding and you're in it and you've pushed the extremes in those off-season settings, you know that you need to manipulate your diet a little bit to kind of make those changes to make things a little bit easier for you, right? And I'm the first one to like be really big on people eating as clean as they possibly can. You know what I mean? So I'm not someone who's going to steer people towards those things, you know? And I've kind of always given out about people who have a lot of sugars in their diet, you know, or just like the second they go into their off-season, they're eating fucking Squares bars with every single meal. It's like, it's not what you should do, you know? Fill it up with as much clean, single ingredient food as you possibly can. But fructose from fruit, guys, and from honey and stuff like that, not the biggest deal in the world, especially when you get to this phase. So anyway, first meal here, like I said, we've got 150 grams of sourdough, 20 grams of almond butter, 20 grams of jam, 50 grams of whey, and then we've also got 150 grams of berries. So macros for this meal are going to be up on the screen. I won't bore you with me eating this, but we'll catch up with you in a little bit for some more bits. Walk time, guys. Post meal one.
That was a picture. And I was like...
Walk time, guys. Post meal one. Myself and Chloe are actually accidentally twinning. Like this. See that? Always happens. We purposely twin quite a lot as well, but it was completely accidental today. So yeah, a little loop now around the lovely Ferrum Park in Rotherham here. Look it up, guys, if you want to take a look at the sights. But
you don't want to see.
It's just bin bags and rubbish fucking everywhere. But anyway, what can you do? So little walk back home, do a little bit of work. Chloe is going to help me brainstorm some content ideas today. She's been forced into it because she's a lot more creative than I am, to be honest. I'm good at like the informational, educational shit, but anything outside of that, I'm fucking useless. You know, all these TikTok-y fucking day in the life this and whatever that, it's not my forte really. So I'm calling in the reinforcements for Chloe, the big guns, for her to help me out. So yeah, if you're not following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. Right, guys, so meal number 3 here. I know you're thinking you've skipped a meal there. Well, this is the exact same as meal number 2, and you're getting a 2 for 1 here because I forgot to record meal number 2. Right, so we've got 75 grams of rice, 200 grams of chicken, and we've got 100 grams of pineapple. I forgot to take this out of the freezer earlier, so this is actually 200 grams of pineapple. So don't shoot me. I was meant to have 100 with each meal, but this is pretty much my meal number 2 and my meal number 3, and yeah, oh wait, I actually have to have a bit of sauce here. So this is what I've been having now. This is like off season only, guys, on this meal. I'm having a little bit of this Nando's Pernese. I kind of make sure to weigh it though. I make sure it's like about 15 grams or so, because 15-20 grams max, because I think per 15 grams of this, 19 grams, it's like 45 calories. So that's like 50 something calories. So for sauce, that's a lot, you know what I mean? And on 2 meals a day, obviously that's like an extra 100 calories. So definitely not something I'd advise unless you're like peak off season, to be perfectly honest. And even at that, I probably wouldn't advise it. But you know, I'm not gonna bullshit you here, guys. But what I've been actually having, normally I'd have like, you know, the ketchup or the mustard or things that are a little bit low calorie in nature. But I think like after prep and even beyond prep, I was just rinsing the ketchup with my meals for so long, that I just need to switch it up a little bit. So we got the Nando's sauce in. I am partial to a little bit of chili jam at times as well, but I think I kind of did the dog with that for a while, and now I'm onto this. So this is quite tasty. I do love a bit of mayo, to be honest, and when it's like garlic mayo, it's even nicer. And this actually doesn't repeat on me as well, which is good, which is key. So we're gonna eat this meal now, do another couple of little house bits here, and then myself and Chloe are off to the dump, because honest to God, since we moved here, right, when we're in oxygen, it was handy because we had like a fucking big massive bin down below at the bottom of the building, so like we could put all our boxes in there. We've got no recycling bin here. We're meant to, but we don't. We just have a fucking pink bin for our bin bags, which completely overfills by the time the bins come every 2 weeks. So like we order so much shit off Amazon and stuff that there's just boxes that collect everywhere. The boot of my car has like tons more boxes in there. We just got some Hydromax as well delivered, so we just have boxes. But what else did you get? What else is in that box?
The protein.
All right, I was like, there's not just Hydromax in that box. Look what it says on the thing. Look, Serious Mass chocolate mint. Throwback to Serious Mass days. But yeah, we just end up collecting loads of boxes and they're just littered all over the house. So we need to go to the dump and pop them in the big skip very soon. And I think Chloe needs to go to the shop. So yeah, it's probably going to be our only little trip outside the house today, because we live a boring life, don't we, Chloe? We do, and it's not a training day today, so don't know what to be getting at. So macros for this meal will be up on the screen, guys. I'll catch up with you in a little bit for meal number 4. Follow me up the We're rolling?
We are rolling.
All right, guys, so meal number 4 here. We've got more sugars again. I'm going to fucking drop dead from all this sugar. So we have 100 grams of sourdough. We've got the 20 almond butter, 20 jam again. And we've also got 100 grams of bananas and 150 grams of blueberries that I've put in this little bowl with a little spoon because I'm a little child. And then we've got 50 grams of whey on the side, JP cereal milk whey. Now that I've actually gotten this again, I must say, this is up there with the best of them. I do think Chloe's nodding her head in approval here. The cereal milk is definitely a top 3 JP flavour for me, I must say. DMAC 10 for your discount. Link is down below, guys, in the bio if you want to drink protein that's as nice as mine. And we're just going to watch a little bit of Narcos now. Well, I actually didn't know we were going to watch Narcos, but the second I came in here with my meal, Chloe was boom, boom with the Narcos up on the screen. So me and Chloe, like, we watch a series together, like, in the evening time. But normally, like, in the afternoon, right, I like to watch a little bit of YouTube. I like to watch a podcast, get some education going, stimulate the brain a little bit. Whereas Chloe's just like, wants to binge watch her series no matter what time of the day it is. We'd be watching Narcos at 7 o'clock in the morning if it was up to Chloe.
No, it's because I'm not allowed to watch anything good when you're not in the room.
Yeah, anything good we have to watch when Dara's in the room. Like, there's been times where, like, there's been a podcast I want to watch and I'll be upstairs and I can hear it and I'm like, are you fucking watching that podcast without me? So she's been warned. So now any opportunity she gets to watch what she wants.
Williamson, not allowed to watch when Dara's not in the room.
Yeah, well, if I've watched it already before without you.
Not allowed to watch.
Yeah, she loves watching the Mike Thurston videos without me. His videos are good, like, they're such an easy watch, aren't they?
Who else? There's a few things that you told
Stephen
me.
Bartlett, I'm kind of gone off his podcast though. But anyway, yeah, we're watching Narcos at the moment. Yes, I have never watched Narcos. I know it's out with the last 8 years, but I'm only getting around to watching it now. But thumbs up.
Yes, very good.
Thumbs up. First season was a little bit better than the second season, but I'm hoping the third season's going to make up for that. But yeah, we're going to be lost now when we finish this. But what I will say is, it's March now, right? In June, House of the Dragon season 2 is out. Buzzing for that. If you haven't watched season 1 of that, get on it. The Boys season 4. If you haven't watched The Boys, yeah, it's up there. One of the best TV shows I've ever watched. I do think so.
Gen Z.
And Gen Z as well, which is like a spin-off of it, which was very good. So The Boys is really, really fucking good. I've watched a lot of superhero-y kind of series, and they're all kind of just the same corny kind of shit, where The Boys is edgy. The Boys is very good. So watch The Boys on Amazon Prime if you haven't already. I'm absolutely buzzing for that to come out. So my 2 fucking favourite TV shows that I watched in the last while coming out in June. And we're probably going to be waiting another year for Stranger Things. Yeah. So anyway, there's TV series reviews with Dara and Chloe wrapped up. Well, 90% Dara. Chloe's just in the background there where she belongs. You don't want to see her anyway, guys. She's dying sick. Look, she's got these pills and all because she's it's her time of the month. She's very angry. So Narcos into season 2 here. Meal number 4, and catch up with you for meal number 5. Were you recording that? No? Nah, I should have put it in. Before Chloe pressed play there, she would burping the house down. So thanks, that's really got my appetite up here for this meal. So meal number 5, guys. We've got 2 salmons. We have got 100 grams of blueberries, 50 grams shy, just so I don't go over my daily fruit allowance to kill myself with all the fructose, right? And what we have here is meant to be 100 grams of sourdough, but I fucking forgot to get the sourdough in the shop because Chloe never reminded me. So I've got this measly fucking piece of sourdough, which isn't even 50 grams. So I had to make up the rest of it, the rest of the macros, with this measly little scoop of rice here. Normally what I do is, like, I have 100 sourdough and I'm able to, like, put 1 salmon on each slice and, like, mash it up and I eat it like a little sandwich. And it's like smashed salmon on sourdough. It's good, guys. It's good. Don't knock it till you try it. I've got a little bit of sweet chili Philadelphia spread on this as well, which just hits different with this meal. Never know though, the rice might be nice with this though. But I'm definitely going to make it. Will be rice. Yes, this will be rice. Nice rice. There we go. 2 of us absolutely autistic here. So macros for this meal will be up on the screen. A little bit higher in fat. This meal's actually supposed to be, or was supposed to be, like mince and like 2 eggs or whatever. But I just swapped the salmon in for that. I think the salmon was a little bit extra fat, but then I pulled like 5 grams of almond butter for elsewhere because I could eat salmon all day. But the mince my appetite is poor and I'm in that off-season setting, it just does not sit that well with me. And then when I'm dieting, I fucking absolutely love this stuff. So yeah, it's weird. Chloe loves mince though, no matter what phase she's in, she loves the mince, so she's still having it. But yeah, I'm on the salmon hype, even though they're expensive, but there were, like, I might as well be eating fillet steak every single night, but it is what it is, guys. I enjoy it, so I spend money on food that I just enjoy eating. That's good for me. Get my good fats in, along with my high strength omega-3s. My brain just firing on all cylinders. So we're still watching Narcos here. We're now an episode and a half ahead of where we would have been before, so things are really heating up now. Next episode is season finale, so we'll probably wrap that up by tonight, will we?
Yes.
Maybe not. I might go to bed before that. Sleep.
No.
Sleepy, sleep.
No.
But yeah. Anyway, we'll catch up with you in a bit, guys. I'm going to eat this meal. I'm going to enjoy it. Bit of rice with this for once. And yeah. Yes, guys, how are we doing? So camera is like balancing there on my hat on the shoe rack. So if it's a little bit wonky, then forgive me. But it's the next morning, as you can probably tell. I forgot to record my last meal last night. Standard. Forgot to record 2 meals in this full day of eating, so it's been a little bit of a disaster. But anyway, meal was only 200 grams of chicken, 50 grams of rice, and 100 banana. So very, very small meal just to kind of finish off the day. I will put the total macros for the day up on the screen over there here. Not the highest, but not the lowest either. I think my rest day calories are a little bit lower than where they were pre-defeed, I think by about 100, 200, but my rest day calories my training day calories are in and around the same. So I have actually been dropping body weight slightly this week. So I was actually 109.5 this morning, and I was 109.5 the day before as well. So it's the first time I've dropped below 110 since I have been kind of on the cruise. So we only have a week left until we wrap it up, and then we transition into the mini cut, like I would say. Also, some very exciting news, guys. So Kuba has mapped out a provisional timeline for me for the prep starting date. So we will be starting prep on 25th of January. Maybe, if I make enough progress. But to be honest, I think I will. And I kind of have it in my head now that I am prepping. So it's going to be all guns blazing from here. You know, I think the mini cut is kind of coming at a good time because I love dieting, you know. And for me, when I diet as well, there's like no off-plan meals ever. I love that. That's just always my approach. Like when I diet, I just don't eat off plan. I just literally get the body fat off as quickly and as efficiently as I possibly can. I've never done a mini cut that's been 10 weeks in duration with Kuba ever since I've been with him. The longest we ever did was 8 weeks. And even after that 8 weeks, I dropped like 7 kilos. And that was coming off the back of a holiday where I was just eating shit pretty much for 2 weeks. So I think I pulled like 6 kilos, 6.5, 7 kilos in like 4 weeks before in a mini cut. So I know my body responds quite well when we go into a phase like that. And I think after 10 weeks, I think I'm probably going to drop close to 10 kilos, to be honest. I'd like to stay above 100 kilos, but I'm going to get as lean as I need to give me the best possible position and runway for this next push-up, right? Also, what we've decided to do is, you know, again, based off past experience with push-ups, right? We're only going to do the push-up off the back of that mini cut for 20 weeks, okay? So this is something that, like, I think we've both kind of come together to realize. And one thing I spoke about in a previous video as well is that I get to that kind of like, you know, 20-week mark, and then things kind of start to get a little bit more difficult. Appetite-wise, digestion-wise, lethargy, things kind of start to slip a little bit. So I think 10-week mini cut, 20-week push, and then what we're actually going to do at the end of that push is we're going to do a little bit of a mini cut again, almost like a pre-prep diet, and then go into a cruise and a holding phase off the back of that. So it's going to be like 4 or 5 week mini cut, just a quick one, and then we're going to hold body weight, get fresh, get healthy for like 6 weeks, and then we're going to start prep. So I reckon, guys, with the way the timeline is set out, I'm going to be starting prep pretty fucking lean. And I'm really excited for that because I thought I was lean when I started this prep just gone in 2023. And to be honest, looking back at that, I wasn't. I was fat. I was fat for me, right? Relative to me. Obviously, everyone has a different set point in terms of, you know, body weight, body composition, body fat.
But I really want to start my prep much leaner the next time, because it's going to obviously take less effort, less digging, less time in a deficit to get to the condition that I need to get in. And I think that's going to be a lot easier for me to hold on to the level of muscle mass that I need to be a little bit more competitive this time, but also to make sure I don't dig myself in the same hole I did the last prep, because I genuinely do think I probably did lose a little bit of tissue, especially on my legs last couple of weeks of last prep. I think a 6-month prep is too long for me personally. I think for guys who maybe have a little bit of a higher set point in terms of body fat, you know, they might need that time. But even with that 24-week prep, with 2 full weeks of diet breaks in there, and with, you know, a nice couple of refeeds, I still think it was a little bit too long fatigue-wise, but only by about a month. Now, I'm glad I done that 6-month prep. The first prep I ever did was 21 weeks. I thought that was bang on. My last prep was 25 weeks, and I thought that was a little bit too much. And I reckon this time around, if I start much leaner, it will give me more room to come down a little bit slower than I did the previous prep. And I think, not that I came down really quick, I think I came down at the perfect kind of a pace, to be honest. But I think if I could come down by 1.5 pounds per week, rather than like 2 pounds per week, I think I'd be able to hold on to the tissue and the performance and the energy levels a lot easier. And I also think as well that, you know, being much leaner will probably allow me to have or need more kind of refeeds along the way. And I think that's going to be super crucial for holding on to training performance towards the tail end of the prep, because I did see, I held on to strength really well up until about like 5-ish weeks out last prep. But from like that kind of 5, 4, 3 weeks out mark, I seen some crazy regressions, like really, really bad. Like I was dropping like a plate aside off like my presses and stuff, and the training just really went to shit. And I feel like the training went to shit that much. The fatigue was very high, and I genuinely do think I kind of faded those last couple of weeks. You know, when I look back at my pics, like 5.5 weeks out was like my best look. It was like really full. Obviously not still at the level of condition that I needed it to be, but I think if I could get to 5 weeks out this time around, be a lot fresher, having had a lot smoother of a prep. I think getting off that last little bit of detail while still kind of, you know, holding on to the fullness and not flattening out too much, not fucking losing all the size off my quads like I did the last time. I think it's going to be a much better look. So I'm super fucking excited for it, but I don't want to look too far ahead, guys. It's nice to have that timeline and have that sense of urgency now, but my sights are fixed on absolutely fucking nailing this mini cut, and even more so, nailing the reverse off the back of that mini cut, because, you know, looking back at it, and it's something I admitted to Kuba as well, I do think I probably came out of the gate a little bit too quickly post prep. Probably had a little bit too many off-plan meals. Now, don't get me wrong, I didn't take the piss with it completely, but I know for my standards, I could have done a lot better. And that's what I'm going to do this time. And I've kind of made that promise to Kuba. So I know now I have to uphold it, because, you know, he doesn't take it easy on us. He holds us all to high standards. And, you know, he was pretty happy with how things like were handled post-prep. But I know it could have been a little bit better, you know. I know it could have been better, especially when I see, like, you know, how much Mark suffered post-prep to hold on to that condition and take things really slow. But now it's paid dividends for him at this stage. You know what I mean? Like, that fucking fella is about 45, 50 pounds up, and he looks like he's about 6 weeks out. So I kind of want that look to be my look. The next push up, I don't think it will be, because he still has got like 15 kg at least of lean tissue on me. But I'll get there eventually. Mark, if you're watching this, I'll get there eventually. I love having Mark though here to chase. You know what I mean? Like, not in like a bitter kind of a way, but in like a really good, friendly, like camaraderie kind of way. Like, you know, I just love the fact that, like, he pushes me, but like I'm trying to chase him, you know, in terms of like where he's at and like the level of size and just like everything else, you know. It makes it more interesting for me, you know, having a really good friend here who loves bodybuilding as much as me, who I can kind of bounce off and I can kind of chase, and like, you know, who kind of brings me up to be better, because obviously Kuba does that as well. But, you know, myself and Mark are obviously similar in age, both Irish, all that sort of shit. So we're on a very similar path and a very similar journey. So yeah, it's going to be super fucking excited. I don't know what Mark's plans are. I think Mark Mark is actually starting prep, or meant to start prep about a month after me, I think, from what Jem was telling me. But yeah, it'll be good. It'll be good. Be interesting. Don't know what show I'm going to do yet, because if we do like a long prep again, or even if we do like 20 weeks this time around, I'll be competing in like fucking June. So like, there's only just like loads of regionals in June. And then if I was to do a pro qualifier, I'd have to go abroad, which I don't know, do I fancy yet? Because I do not think I'd be at the standard to be competitive at any pro qualifier abroad. That's even if I win my class at a fucking regional, to be perfectly honest, right? So look, we'll see. But I think there's a lot to be said for just getting a little bit more experience, getting a little bit more experience prepping, getting a little bit more experience being on stage. One thing I really want to fucking improve on is my stage presence this year, my posing and things like that. So it's a perfect opportunity for me to do that, and just, you know, improve my kind of skills as an all-around kind of bodybuilder. So yeah, guys, exciting times ahead. The next vlog you are going to see is just going to be like probably cruise wrap up, and then from there it's going to be mini cut series. So I think I'll have a lot more inspiration for the content then. We'll be seeing weekly changes. I'll be taking you through the process, showing you what we're doing, training wise, nutrition wise, all that good stuff. So that'll definitely be interesting, and we'll see once I get to the end of that, have I made the substantial progress I think I have. So if you've made it this far, guys, I appreciate you. Like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. Please do share it on your socials, on your Instagram. I'd really appreciate that. And we'll catch you in the next one.